Hello from Fabric Junction in South Dakota. I am Terry, and today we're going to do a 10-inch pot holder. These make a nice size and easy gift that you can give to a friend. If you don't have a square that is 10 inches, we're going to create one. And then the technique of putting them together is exactly the same. This one here, the square was a lot smaller, so we added borders and then we cut it off center to create this interesting look. So you can take any square that you have and do this same technique. The only thing is you don't ever want to go over 10 inches based on the binding that we're going to use. We take our square, and the first thing you do is measure the short side. And then cut your 2.5 inch strip to fit that side. We're going to sew that on using a 1/4 inch seam allowance, and we're going to do opposite sides. Once you have those sewn, you'll need to press. Measure this, the distance across here, cut 2 more pieces that will fit that, and sew those on. Now my pieces are a little bit bigger, only because I know I'm going to trim it away, but you want to make sure they're big enough to go all the way across. Again, we're going to press once we have our oversized square made, we will get our square and lay it on here and decide whether or not you want to cut it square with it. Do you want to have it a little off? But find your 10 and make your cuts. Now that you have your cuts, take your 10-inch square that you cut for the back, followed by your 10-inch square of your Insulbrite, which is made specifically for placement or for pot holders. Make sure I get my words correct. Line them on top and then pin them together. And I'd like to pin them where I am not going to do the quilting. So now you can quilt it as much or as little as you like. On this one, I went around and then accent around the middle. On the chickens, I did the cross hatching. But this is up to you on how much quilting you would like to add to your pot holder. Once again, I think I'm just going to go around a couple of key areas. Just to hold my layers together. This is a step, if you have a walking foot, you can also use your walking foot. If you're getting too much puckering, decrease your pressure foot. Pressure. Now that you have it bound, or excuse me, quilted, and a couple little puckers there that will press out. There we go. Now we're ready to add our binding. Now our binding is a 2.5 inch strip, the width of fabric that's been folded in half. You can cut off the selvage if you like, because it is a little bit thicker right there. So trim that little bit of selvage off. And we're going to start in whatever corner, an upper corner, because when we finish, that's where the little loop will be. Whoop. I start on the wrong side, keep it folded in half, and I stitch a 1/4 inch in from the edge. When I get close to the edge, I stop with my needle down about a 1/4 inch from the edge. I sew off the corner. I lift my pressure foot, I bring it back towards me, and this one I'll take off to show you. I bring it back towards me and I go I go north and then I go south, and the goal is to line up this corner so that when I turn it, it will make a 45. So you want to make sure that you're lined up straight across here and you're lined up here. If this is off any, like that, or an angle like that, when you go to turn it, it will not give you a nice 45-degree turn. once again, I have it to the left. I go what I call north and then back south. Line it all up with the edge and continue to sew. Okay, as we get close to this end here, we need to pin this and line it up on your stitch line. So that when we finish sewing the binding, that part will already be turned. Also, take this in, fold it in, and sew clear to the edge. Okay, you have your binding on. So now here's how you make your little hanging loop. Is we'll turn that in on itself, and if you'd like, you can press that down. You can pin it or head straight to your machine and start sewing. Now I start just a little below, right on top of the full part, because otherwise the machine probably won't feed forward very well because of the amount of bulk that's right there. So then slowly keep turning your binding to the front, lining up on your old seam. And when you get to the corner, there, I use my tweezers to hold my corner in place. I fold it down, then I grab the fold and tip it up and hold that fold in place until I can get my needle into the turn. Once I get it into the turn, it'll hold it as I turn. And we'll do that again on the next corner. So as you fold that over to match your seam, when you get down to that corner, fold it and it'll create an angle here, and then once again I use my tweezer to hold it in place so that I create this very nice looking 45-degree angle. And I want my needle holding the fabric down as I turn. As you do the last one, you already have that corner folded down for you. Go right to that corner and I sew clear off to make sure it stays secure. Now the last step is to take your little tab, fold it back, and stitch it down. And I stitch back and forth a couple of times, take it off, clean out my extra strings, and there I go. I have my placemat ready for a gift for a friend, for a holiday, for my own decor, whatever you need. Thank you for watching today, and check us out online at junctionfabric.com.